Ogari Nasai Minasan, today we are gonna talk about the final episode of Kamen Rider Geats. So, wow, it has been a really amazing journey, 1 year journey with all of you guys to watch every single episode of Kamen Rider Geats together and talk about Kamen Rider Geats together. Some of you guys has been here since episode 1 and some of you guys has been here halfway through the series, but it is okay. We made it to the end and we are here to talk about the final episode. Not gonna lie, when I actually saw how this episode actually ended, it just put a smile on my face. I know there's like a lot of people is gonna talk about how this final arc of Kamen Rider Geats, or even halfway through the series, the series actually kind of like fall down for them, but I am a person that really love an ending, okay, be it a good ending, a bad ending, a mediocre ending. Everything that comes to an end is just I don't know how to actually explain this. It just put a smile on my face because you have a conclusion, you have kind of like a closure to a wound that has been opened up and it has been with us, all of us, for the past 1 year, and to finally close this chapter, no matter how you actually felt about the ending, how you felt about the series, I think all of us can agree that it has been a significant part of our weekly schedule. Okay, like every Sunday we are here meeting with one another to talk about Kamen Rider Geats, and we are gonna do that again for Kamen Rider Gachado. Okay, so I honestly love how this episode actually ended, for my humble opinion, because we actually get to see all the happy ending that we are being promised to. I think like the one that gets me the most is Michinaga. Honestly speaking, holy shit, when I saw Michinaga's happy ending is to just eat a lot of meat and be with a lot of people, that really warms my heart, because Michinaga is someone that started out as a loner, started out as someone that is like, I'm gonna be the lone hero. I'm not gonna gonna rely on anyone else. I rather be the one that is miserable than someone else to be the one that is miserable. That is his character. But he, in the final episode, we get to see him kind of like learning something from S. Okay, he finally like le- he take the lesson that he learned from S, like especially the one that food are better tasting when it is eaten with another person. Like I think that lesson, like for I think for a lot of us, when we actually watch that scene previously in the previous episode, where like there is when Buffa become the Jamash scene, and we actually get to see Gears dying and come back to life, all of us like has been thinking about like, hey, that scene feels, like nothing's really significant and all those stuff. But when we actually get to see how Buffa's ending in this episode, for him to sit around a group of people just having meals with everyone, that is really amazing. Okay, like throughout the entire series, we don't actually get to see him eating and enjoying life with with the rest of the cast, with the rest of the rider as at a whole. All this while, the only time he's been with another rider, with another people, is during fights. Okay, he was never being portrayed as someone that eat something with another person. The only person that he eat with throughout the entire series is actually Ukyo as himself, and at the final episode with his colleague. So that is really amazing. I love that ending for Buffa. Like that, it actually strengthened the scene after what Buffa did to S, and yet S still choose to forgive like Buffa and choose to eat with him. You know how I just felt like that scene right now, after watching the final episode, became so much more impactful for me, because having a meal with someone that tries to kill you, it's not easy, okay? Like it's like you can really see like how graceful Ukiyo-S actually is. So that is really insane, okay? So like his ending is definitely one that I love the most, but we need to talk about the rest of the cast ending as well. I think Hallelujah Win, no need to say too much about it. He wants to be a rock star. He wants to chase his dream once again. Go for it. I believe in you, Hallelujah Win. But Daichi Isuzu, why you get so much screen time? I have no idea. Why Ukiyo-S doesn't take away the Jyamato? I have no idea. Maybe like when he said like all life deserve a happy ending, he actually included the Jyamato. So I don't know, but Daichi character just changed completely. He went from someone that wants all the knowledge of the world all to himself to become someone that wants the Jyamato to coexist with humanity. And I felt like this is something that we might need to really think about. Like, why is Daichi like this? What happened to Daichi that causes him to be filled with so much compassion? I think we need to understand that it is because the reason why he became so compassionate is because he ate some of the memory from the people that actually became the tree of knowledge, and he has all the memory of Sakurai Sara. And I just felt like just having the memory of Sakurai Sara, I think it kind of reminded me of a story in Spider-Man, like where like the moment there is a story, I think it's called the Superior Spider-Man or something like that. We actually get to see Dr. Octopus and Peter Parker changing their body, and Peter Parker died in the body of Dr. Octopus, and so right now in the body of Peter Parker is the soul of Dr. Otto Octavius, and he chose to become Spider-Man still, because when he possessed the body of Peter Parker, he actually have all the memory of Peter Parker and all the experience and the pain and everything of Peter Parker. So he, at the end of the day, he still chose to be Peter Parker because he understood what it meant. Like, he understood the pain that Peter Parker went through, and he also experienced that sense of justice as well. So maybe the reason why Daichi actually changed so much is because a similar thing happened to him after he consumed Sakurai Sara's knowledge or memory. It actually causes him to be way much more compassionate to other people, because Sakurai Sara is someone that is like super duper compassionate to other people. So that is really something else, okay? But the next thing we want to talk about is Neon, okay? Neon Kurama. I really felt like the ending of Neon like ended up with Kyun, like how she actually chose to like, hey, I want to get it on with my White Knight in shining armor, and that is Kyun, okay? Kyun turns out to be the love that Neon is the prince that Neon is waiting for. But then again, I really love how Kyun come after Neon actually settle her problem with the parent itself, after she's able to love herself, and after she's able to reconcile her problem, her trauma with the family. That is the moment where she actually can start to look for love outwardly, okay? And I felt like this is a really good point or a moral of the story that all of us should definitely learn. A lot of us are looking for love before we choose to love ourselves, and that is just gonna just gonna make us felt like really tired all the time, because we always felt like we need to perform to impress, we need to give so that we can be loved, and all these things is just gonna tire us out. And if we can't love ourselves, no matter how much the other party love you, you're still gonna felt not being appreciated enough, because when you don't love yourself, you're gonna have a certain criteria, a judgment, like how you actually, like how someone is gonna love you, or how you love someone, how do you perceive love. All those things are being twisted, are being corrupted by by all the trauma that you experience throughout your entire life. So if you actually have a healthy view on love, including loving yourself, you are gonna have a healthy view on how love with other people should actually be like. Okay, love is not an exploitation. You're not supposed to use love as the reason to kind of like exploit someone for doing something for you and all stuff. And that is definitely something that Neon learns on her journey. So that ending is also something that is really, really beautiful. But lastly, we need to talk about our boy Sakurai Keiwa. His wish never changed. He still wishes for war peace. What is the Japanese word for war peace again? I forgot already. But Sekai Heiwa, okay? Sekai Heiwa is the wish of Sakurai Keiwa. So that is really, really interesting. But I felt like in order for Sakurai Keiwa wish to be fulfilled, he would definitely need to do a lot of different things. And one of the things that we actually get to see him doing is that he is actually studying for what? You might be asking. He is actually studying how to become a police officer. So he is gonna join the police rider squad. And now KY actually joins quite a lot of squad, not gonna lie. He joins the 9th MC squad, he joins the ninja squad. Now he is also gonna join the Kamen Rider police squad. So we might actually get to see him like having another V cinema or kind of like a Geats extra, where we actually get all the rider who is actually a police officer to all join in a single series itself. Okay, we actually get to see Terry Ryu in Revise, so that is not kind of like a far-fetched thinking that we might actually get to see him back as Kamen Rider Axel once again. And we might actually get to see Kamen Rider Drive as well. Like, he is also a police officer, so seeing him in action once again is also a really, really good welcome. Who else is a police? I think, if not mistaken, Kamen Rider G3 is also a police as well. So it's gonna be really, really cool for us to actually get to see, like, maybe like just like how the Ninja Rider have a reunion, we might actually get to see something similar with Sakurai Keiwa with the police squadron, something like that. Okay, that is gonna be really, really cool, where all the police officers are working together, and all of them turns out to be Kamen Rider as well. So that is really, really amazing. But lastly, I just want to talk about one more character, and that is Sumuri. Okay, Sumuri actually kind of become the Miko to the temple, to the shrine of Geats, to the shrine of Ukiyo-S. Now that Ukiyo-S is a deity, and in Japan, okay, something that all of us need to understand is that in Japan, he like a deity, like they believe, I don't know what is this belief actually called, but they believe in a lot of different things. Okay, like they believe in a lot of spirits. Like when like this land or is protected by this spirit, they're gonna give a name to this deity, and that deity become like the guardian deity for that area, something like that. So different area, different land is gonna have a different guardian deity, and S is gonna become that kind of like that area of guardian deity. I am not sure, but we actually get to see the people, the rider actually go to that shrine and kind of like wish and pray towards Ukiyo-S, in a sense, something like that. And we do actually get to see the Geats 9 become fossilized and being put into the shrine itself, to symbolize that this is the shrine where you burn your offering, or you give your offering to the deity Geats itself. Okay, and that is exactly how some temple in Japan actually worship the yokai kitsune, and also some they actually worship the bake tanuki, something like that. Okay, so that is really, really amazing. But one thing that I just have to say is that we don't actually get to see Sumuri wearing a Miko uniform. That is gonna be so good for us to actually get to see Sumuri in a Miko suit. But she's not gonna be a Miko like for a very, very long time, because now that a new DGP is gonna get started out, and that might actually be the DGP that we actually saw in the Geats original for Michi's day off. Like that might actually be the DGP that we're gonna see. Like it is not gonna be something that is so threatening or so evil, but it's just gonna be a fun time, something like that. So maybe we are gonna see that. That is gonna be really, really amazing. But with that being said, we just have to talk about the final part of the episode. Okay, the final part of the episode after we talk about everything is we actually got we got a loophole, okay, in the series that we never actually thought to I think I actually talk about this when we actually get to see Boost Mark II being summoned to present day, being to be used by Ukyo S. Is like, because we all this while we kind of like learn that S has been reincarnated some maybe at least 5 times over the past 200 years or 2000 years, something like that. So for so many reincarnation, like at least 5 actually made it to the DGP itself. So in this 5, like the previous 4 before Ukyo S actually wishes for something similar, like in the future when my reincarnation have the resolve, grant them power to do whatever they want, something like that. So that is how Boost Mark II actually came to life. Okay, so 4S from the past, and a lot of us, when we actually saw how Boost Mark II actually came to be, a lot of us actually kind of like speculated that, hey, so if S is gonna get reincarnated over and over and over again, that would mean that we are actually gonna see S from the future itself. And that is why we actually speculated that, hey, Jean might actually be one of S future descendant, or maybe S Jean is actually S reincarnation, something like that. But how this episode ended with Ukyo S becoming a deity, becoming a god of whatever he actually became, it actually stop the cycle, because when he became a deity, he didn't actually die technically. Okay, his soul has transcended humanity and became a deity, and as long that there is someone who still remembers the legacy of Geats and still worship him as a deity, Geats is gonna continue to exist until the end of time. Okay, so with that being said, Ukyo S doesn't have any other more reincarnation after Ukyo S, because he actually became a deity itself, and that actually fixes the loophole on why we doesn't actually see Ukyo S from the future come back to the present day to help out with the crisis that they are actually facing in the story itself. So if you really think about it, they kind of like close a loophole that no one actually think to actually question. No one actually think to like, hey, that's true. Hey, you know, like we were like how come like S from the future doesn't come to help S in present day, something like that. So that is a really, really good like kind of closure to that loophole thing. So I love it. Okay, like I really, really love that part of the story itself. But I would say this episode, what this episode feel like really, really just minor nitpick is like during the scene at the shrine, we actually get to see, especially the scene where Sumari and Jin actually talk to one another. Like we actually get to see a little bit of jittering, and we that is the reason why that exists is because when they shoot that scene, I think they use kind of like a gimbal to move the camera left and right, and when they actually do that, they try to stabilize it in post. They stabilize it when they put it into the to maybe Premiere Pro or maybe DaVinci Resolve video editing software. And when they actually do that, what they did is they put stabilize, and if they actually put stabilize, like you actually get to see the jittering, and I felt like that is definitely what came from the warp stabilizer or maybe the stabilization that they actually use. Okay, so one thing what they can do better is that they can utilize the, it also depends on what camera they use. I think if they actually use Sony camera, they can actually use kind of like a software called gyro flow or something like that. They can, which you are able to stabilize your footage using the gyro system or the marker that is actually recorded in your body when you're shooting that footage itself. But like I said, minor nitpick. But I another thing that I really love is how Ukiyo-S started out this entire series on becoming the desire god in the first episode, and it actually ended with him actually becoming a real deity that is worshipped by other people by the end of the series. So that is really, really amazing. He also plays kind of like a similar role, like when Revice actually ended, we actually get to see Ukiyo-S is the one that actually welcomes himself into the story. Just kind of like announcing that, hey, I'm gonna be the next rider that is gonna come in the series. And similarly, as at the end of this episode, he actually introduces the next rider as well. And when he actually do that, it is not the new rider that actually like, hey bro, leave the world to me, but he actually says to the new kid on the block, he said to Kamen Rider Gacha Hotaro Ichino, say like, hey bro, be happy, something like that. And with that being said, that is all from me. It is a long ass video, I know, 20 plus minutes, but this is the final episode, so I really want to make it special. I really want to talk about, so like there's still a lot of things that we can talk about in Kamen Rider Geats. Just like we know that we are gonna get a V cinema next, that we are gonna see Buffer final form, like a Plosion Rash. Okay, the reason why it's called Plosion Rash is because explosion rash, something like that, but they also want to play with the poison rash, something like that. So for me, it is Plosion Rash. Okay, so really crazy thing, and we get to see Beroba is back also. So I mean, it doesn't really surprise me to actually get to see like Jin and Kyun is back, so Beroba is back. It doesn't really surprise me because I think I actually talked about this previously in my previous episode, like to actually think about like whether or not do they actually die, like does because we actually get to see Gilori and Shiram get deleted in the same way, like even like Kekera and Beroba got deleted in the same way, but are they really dead? I don't think so. And now that they are back, the rider needs to be back as well. So with that being said, that is all from me. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you made it this far into the video, means you really enjoy the content. So I have just one word from you for you to comment in the comment section below, and that is Exodia. Why Exodia? Because he is the god in Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay, like he is the one that when you have 5 cards on your hand, you're gonna win the game automatically. So that is really insane. Exodia is the card. And another thing, man, like if you made it this far until this point into the video and you haven't subscribed, come on man, do me a favor, subscribe, and it's not gonna benefit you at all or anything, but it's definitely gonna benefit me. So if you want to help me, subscribe, and I'll be seeing you guys in Kamen Rider Gacha episode 1. Goodbye.